Hello. Pöygyalı nidon jada ngapchunga sum ramne medal namlo sard shebe anyemu dela antoma ngazui dijinye gi jamne chino khons kyabun chimbu chog ube antenda lajinam kuzi shebe keja tembada tugu shigun tadal hunju dube munzi ngwento dane antri 제고디 가주 숭지 토네 도 숭지 쉬되어리 딘드 삼바트리 제고디 토 집주장배 점내 러드 긴데 남바다 시제 유권주 넘버에 안디신 마디 저쪽에 티미스바 부디라 가부치라레 대신 캐나다 베디슈도 랭고 관계 gen지 실업타진라레 아니 대신 의비미 직주기 망주의 가오숨기 제주 수반남바래 아니 강주 춘대링다 별이 지든 속배 초수 수반남바당 아니 슝대 마연배 초기가 구전남바 대신 선주 롭지 의배 길레남바다 롭주 아워 남바 소래 대신 메마용라 도망에 섬리 테스트를 쉬어이 따트리 먼저디 제고디 가주 숭디도네도 숭지 쇼거래 네 숭지 쇼거든 디야 초진의 쇼베나 안타니 니자 먼저 디지 니기 점내 진호고스 경군 친구 초라 점리나 치니라 제베 그래미 싱다비시 제베 탐사직 중요래 니버데라 니람 아리 슈네 페디 믹세 디도 먹고샤 나도 중요래 디 먼저 차츠만에 가법기고베 내주 차디어레 양 초신직의 쇼베나 안니람 진호고스 경군 친구 초기 그 중부 머리를 붙이 공부 좀에 이규 내주 중반 경제 디니를 때네 다니 아주 가주 숭지도 내도 제고 숭지 쇼유스 디 남부서 킨도 지 쉬나스면서 디텐소
Good morning and welcome everyone. Foremost with deep reverence and devotion, I prostrate and pay obeisance to our good Guru, His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama, and the Venerable Sangha members. And we honor to welcome our distinguished guests joining us today. Honorable James Maloney sends his regret, and we have Honorable Karim Berdesi, MP for Tayakon Parkdale High Park. We have Honorable Yvonne Becker, MP for Etobicoke Center. We have Honorable Lee Fairclough, MPP for Etobicoke Lakeshore. And we have Honorable Alexa Gilmore, MPP for Parkdale High Park. And Inspector Jeff Bangel, Toronto Police Service Division 22. We have Pudila Karpuche, former MPP and former Deputy Speaker of Ontario Provincial Parliament. We have Tashirab Gela, Machik founder. And we have Officers Tenzin Meto, Toronto Police Service, Dorkal Hamula, President of the Registered Nurses Association of Ontario. And we also welcome our esteemed community leaders, the Tibetan Parliament, former Speaker in Tibetan Parliament Exile, former Tibetan parliamentarians, and we greet the presidents and representative of our local Tibetan organization and our dear community members and friends of Tibet and our community. On behalf of the Canadian Tibetan Association of Ontario and Tibetan Canadian Cultural Center, we extend our greetings and heartfelt best wishes on this auspicious occasion of Losar 2153, the year of Fire Horse. May this new year bring boundless happiness, health, prosperity, and fulfillment of all our virtuous aspiration, and may the Dharma flourish in our hearts and peace prevails across the earth. Today we gather here with mixed emotion, rejoicing a historic milestone, His Holiness the Dalai Lama's first Grammy Award for Best Audiobook Narration and Storytelling for his work, Meditation, Reflection of His Holiness the Dalai Lama, while observing a year of compassion, the whole 98th birth anniversary year. In addition, we welcome the recent appointment of the U.S. Special Coordinator for Tibetan issues and continued support for the Just Cause of Tibet and the Central Tibetan Administration. However, our hearts are also heavy. We are deeply saddened by the passing of Kunga Rinpoche, the younger brother of His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama, on February 17th. In the gesture of profound respect and mourning, the cultural performances and crochet, the circle dance, originally scheduled for today have been canceled. Thank you.
도대체 엔디네마 제림의 년주 쇼쇼이 제림 탐모된 긴데부터 주만남 대신 미마 눈좀게 타순 친주당자 상수 비교 디트룹세메이 제림님의 군주남의 페소 내리슈요 디트룹세메이 제림 숨바디 진호원스케 윈침부 초교 고바 통주는 부치 슈지 된슈기 군주 조차나 조선의 면제 딘숨 비와다 첩직 군주남의 슈지 제다 비교 디트룹세메이 데네 제림 아바디 참고신기 강주 최대lingi 표기 리숑 디네 관계 루중 남네 표기가 침비 결로다 캐나다의 결로 비교 대단냠제 군주다 미만남라 좀에 세티고 슈교
We shall now begin our formal program with the singing of the Tibetan National Anthem, followed by the Canadian National Anthem, and I request everyone to please rise.
도지치 루저오초 이네 제림 듬바디 진호 공스격은 침부초라 칭예라 치외 그라미 싱가부시 제베 년도 심비슈교 대단첩치 안다나 진호 공스격은 침부초네 로사 토라 갈롭제 어직 심비슈에이
We will now watch and listen to His Holiness the Dalai Lama's Losar 2151 address to reflect and we pledge to fulfill His Holiness' vision of a more kind and compassionate community and world. So can we have the video of His Holiness the Dalai Lama's Losar address, please? Thank you.
별로 로사리야 아니 시시 표미 상로리야 아니 첨지다 저시들이 쇼이 맞아 봐봐 센조와 차세 강에 전부지 월 대버리 调控制 그 뚝수 넘버지 원에 도 스테버리디 맞아 별 자신 매망하게 지 태무 그 심슈디 남야 요메지 대버리 제 내에 고르 치시 도 스테버리 자 내가 별 징주단에 개무 공정이 도스파 왕으로 교두산에 벽이 최대다 디디 교주의 삼버치기 저와디 겨울에디 아주 벽에 최대 리숑기 태무디 전에베 최대는 신체 싫어 야고르샤 나는 벽사 모임베다 대사 갸나랑 나로래 나슈도 토나 사블레딩에 점불리 서그 몽구지리야 벽이 최대 리숑 수준에 신원의 전에 그 김전된 뭐 리보던 뭐 애는 삼담이는 심기 시대 용야 지금 상도 줘야 돼这个套了그开来一个判断有的是기타 문제 되잖아요 대리께서 점리 노조네 벽이 쇼더 리슈고套了 믹스에 도나싱에 지망 주도가 애는 체집에 나네 그러나 나대 샤샤나 그 체집에 나네 철 대버 매나야 지금 선보 상고 적고야기 아주 벽에 리슈데 믹스에 도나잖아요 감정에디 지망 줘되기도 세상 아주 벽에 지금 소소 최대 리슈 신문에 전에 가요 나그 판도 예대부터디 시기 자 공정기 어디 봐지 능수 동야기 탑시 rinpoche 버리디 딘 능수 줘야 서버야 저불리 디가로 토나 사버레 돼야지 차대와 세브샤리 다 레장 맞아 봐봐 지금 별한 게 파묘기 신문에 전에 삼보 상구체야 단합에 무슨 수저로리야 지금 싸워져야 지금 아주 금시지어리 지금 저불리 가사갈라 다 대가 벽 낭수도 도나게 매ring에 마싱에 되저기 지금 벽에 지금 삼보 상구시야다 여름지야 되더라 지금 저불리 신도 로장 가사카네 도나 싸워져 되기도가 세상 알아도 벽에 소소 파면에 마지기 금시 상구 여대보다디 상면 지금 저불린게 제너지 삼보체제 맞을때 다국대하디 개정부르셔 너르샤샤나 슬리네게 애니 사사야 춘주간리 오늘 벽은 전에기 지금 서버 상고쳐야다 애니 시기 최저 돈의 샤바이나 낭수 베다 비 탁슈디 아주 별에 다국대요리 다 타일랜드 버마다도 남배 유주리 시라야고 요리 리디네 这个老中定15前年做定个的，跑到说过，那说过到娘家是不是亲啥人？是当俺做跑个，我那产那个，空气上不有的不的，热不灵个几多差的个要的，所以大家场面的团拿起，木头呢，俺做到热不灵深度老上搞啥搞了，跑个吃的这深度团拿起呢，没千万做的个要的了。这个俺自己下点主要个时候，这个查询比较时候怎么样不？上路当大个团呢，这个强经济，这空头当下个，看到俺做空气学对不对的？日不连开始看到团长起过来了，但木头呢，团长养养了，俺那是什么老个？哎，所以伢们起过来，开始不少多，爸爸是不是咱呢？这个3个月多了这个。但既然日不连开始干呢，我是觉得个对吧？实际上俺那做的节约很多呢，没啥子给要嘛的没几个人。这里呢，俺那做空气过，这个3个节啊个，他那不生存就老了，少数嘛些事情呢，俺做的这个空气3个节也得不得对吧？前啥个俺那差不多，空气3个月对不对？木头呢，竞争特别巨大。최대 연애를 매내를 저불링 신도 표창 가사칼이야 서버상구지야 금시디 파 갸끼 도비하지 대 상면에 섬러샤 배 후다 저러지 엔당가서 벽이 시 성금 리뷰고디 남배 유두스 나로네 그 서슈르샤 지금 3년 조다 그래 이부터 저디 마저 된거 별이야. 매 선제스做교회 고보카디리 승진 논의 지기열이 디 뭐냐 전에 그 지금 저불린 그 채널 카이라요 그 편도 예도 지기 야고 쉬우지르샤 내가서 배배 아다보도 뭐냐 전에 그 그게 다 칸에 샤워서 뭐 인베 라랭게네 내가서 최가잖아 시루 승지 전에 가서 다고 겨버리 대강 가서 서버 상구체하기 딘데기 럽적 상구치 시루 승지 토네 가서 별이야 아다보도 다고 겨셔버디 단 저불이 디간라도 봐 토나 사버려야지다 캡도야지 내수지 리기도와 딘데 인도 가서 봐봐 상으로 배 심수기 배 닝도 깨제 아는 상매배 후다 저러 시시는 가서야 디 사고로 표현하려 여대배 시류자집에 뭐디디 미 참을로 근데 대화도 덤지 이해하면 벌써 싫어하고래 다 더동 거란서 지금 별이야 로동자가 ren기 지 금시 상부 여대배 디디 다지 금전 근데 이뭐 domren구 지금 상부동야디 등아주 표와 다 매로 싸워서 돈아 싸워 쳐가지고 차샤 지금 금시 인사 지고면 붙여 경쟁 가르쳐도 와. 아니 뭐의 내술이야 더럽게서 저부디가라 천지부터 가고 치야다. 누저 예고确认 저와 명예주의 믹스의 도나치야 디디 경쟁 가르쳐도 와. 봐 도나 체체 아주 배워란 게 로동자 그런 게 채널 지 예대부터디 상면 대 문신 투배 돈에 다오디아데 백해 전부리 나는 참으로 칸에 시디드 쓰기 어리 시디세데 생각나는 속으로 말도 애네 고좀 해가지고 계속 말이 자사가 나라서 벽이 리중 금시 예도되기 뭐냐 전에 그 생구 시디 소야게 빼데 교체 약속이셔 대 나라서 참으로 하게 셔버치는 다고 야고시켜 애네现在다이 참으로这些的学员都是
도체나 디지 공도 쉬었는지 안타니 진홍공스 개분 침부 초라 7年的 제외 Grammy 싱다부시 제외 년도 아마 심비슈에
So in a moment of great joy for the Tibetan worldwide, we celebrate His Holiness' first ever Grammy Award win for the best audiobook narration and storytelling. We invite you to watch a brief clip of this milestone announcement and listen to a selection from the narration. This award is beautiful testament to the universal power of his teaching, and we share this pride together. Can I have the video clip, please? Thank you.
And this Grammy goes to Meditations, the Reflections of His Holiness, the Dalai Lama. The Dalai Lama.
Okay, I'm not the Dalai Lama, obviously. But my name is Rufus Wainwright, and it was a privilege to participate in this project. It's an honor to accept this recognition on behalf of His Holiness, the Dalai Lama, whose wisdom is at the heart of this work. In his words, the most precious human quality is warm-heartedness and caring for one another. We're grateful to all of our guests who brought their spirits to this work: Audra Day, Ted Nash, Debbie Nova, Maggie Rogers, Tony Suker, Joe Alterman. I'd like to thank Kabir Sigal, who helped lead this project with care, clarity, and conviction. Thank you to our team. This is going to be fun, what I'm about to do. Amjad Ali Khan, Ayan Ali Bangash, Aman Ali Bangash, Paul Avgerinos, Doug Davis, Surishta Segal, RP Eddy, and Glassnote Records. Thank you so much.
Warm-heartedness really brings inner peace. Warm-heartedness is basis of our survival. We all living beings on this planet who come from their mother. Without mother's affection, you will not survive. Some scientists say we are a social animal. That means individuals' survival depends on other. Therefore, nature produces the feeling of affection. Good heart or warm-hearted, or another word, more compassionate, more affection, is, I think, basically basis of all sentient beings. Since we are a social animal, one individual's survival or happy life entirely depends on the rest of the community. We human beings, we really need affection. Children with their mother in their family always smiling. Once join school, then pay more attention about knowledge, about intelligence, not warm-heartedness. I feel in our education we are lacking of explanation how to become a person who has peace of mind. I want to stress in our education some lesson about how to bring inner peace, including good sleep. Much anxiety or anger much disturb sleep. Without anger, more affectionate mind, then sleep become very sound. Simply for a healthy body with a peace of mind, for that basis, some sort of explanation how to reduce anger, anxiety, and how to develop inner peace. And for that, warm-heartedness is the key thing.
도지체 안데 제림 개와디 99 중부 응어리 림부치 초기 버리 심비슈교.
We now pause to pay our deepest respect to late Kunga Rinpoche. Tenzi Choke, throughout his life, Rinpoche served His Holiness the Dalai Lama and the Tibetan people with tireless dedication, leaving an indelible mark on our culture, education, and spiritual heritage. In addition, to honor his profound legacy of service, we'll share a brief photographic tribute of late Kunga Rinpoche.
대다 되지 된다는 거 대다 말에 전화 담제돼 야와다게 신나고라 가야 마신지데 드만남 대다라 마선장 고로고 양가 대바로 대신다데 고보 근제 정도 다한주 근데 예외 정도 담나 근데 고예 대배 담나도 근데 대시배 담나 근데 잡아 잡아 다게도 근데 개선하다나 잡아내 버지베 예제도 세로도도 딘저도도 장주 담나 용도 주바시 예제 담나 용서 다시有毛多那根本就把些，就是到那当然都能做吧。现在讲座能把大些进，甚至讲座当然能把，就那讲座了等同学进，一些讲座了都多吧，就把讲座能把大些进，那种讲座了都做吧，上节讲座了等学习进，该把讲座没就写吧，还要得上些别教话也，长期这边面浪写的，上把这边上去上节呢，这个马里大给做吧。要根据这些多吧，刚也明年更多上些，开发的都从把些别些的，也完的到等级劳动，流动劳动也想弄到进，就把弄到新拿用到，我从不开发进到我，听到大将调动送过去，可能开发从不级别，也没今年面浪结巴级，把我开发更多没交，第一下我马里做吧级，就把单人采买嘛级，有的人就是说没把学，就把采买把那年年。这当主播当前采挖节，那跟他对结巴结账，甚至马轮太阳带线的，结账来当年木他就，那跟满龙太阳带上木，二十节西南太阳，这节现在要我拿了不，好多没也得我瞧那，今个的你给把不完，刚跟我也加班对对呢，上去这个就是人们，人家咱也得把结巴呢，说老当兵就等等就。都到别天天个说当节帮完节，天天这边人把帮完。我他也电话电人通，电到你把让你电话，那真的要电到来把我，更多人把电话紧张，电到人把没得电进去，上面老把打给地板那，刚给没写完给写把打，电上把就办的就那，有的马里用是小完，一些当的主动产那当，里当高度那当电吧，都到没得忙不得没得，记得上把更难瞧吧，像这生活中的电人着，送的时间别些电流。像是上街高了，绕多高了，热闹的当街吧当街，他要上把街边买了，叫我当那等到老那，第能把面包上街去，上去吃了10年把些，两百包围这当钱吧，更多上把这样的人的，得到跟着就是到了些了，给完的到当街绕的，就是街边叫我当街去，我刚来觉得好吧，大概给早晚都给讲，上把些绕的我问，大年节这些就完了，这把当街当的些是。我说老王他也点头的，在我经济现在老等着，就从那面上对他讲，当前马六我等就而去，对他马六大概，记得70件偏包机，家也经过上线搞我的，偏包当把行动在来，老王他也结尾我说的，我那把样大概点到，点到大概龙腾绕到呢，就把忙不结我查起，我也到去学学那是样，现在那让偏包忙不，从不去偏买了大把人，给我总算的给几上。天天这也蛮弄给我那，给这几个当进去了是，我们蛮弄我话，刚才天天这那个就我心我把没变的了，他把学，蛮弄结婚的，但就个做，他沿着我跟了别些，更多什么也没用着的，人说这那么了咯，桥东过了结不动，见到给把上班上去。卡拉干的得来得的，什么今日在那样子，我们那边没有，我们那边没有，我们那边没有，我们那边，我们那边没有，我们那边没有，我们那边没有，我们那边没有，我们那边没有，我们那边没有，我们那边没有，我们那边没有，我们那。我们那边没有，我们那边没有，我们那边没有，我们那边没有，我们那边没有，我们那。我们那边没有，我们那边没有，我们那边没有，我们那边没有，我们那边没有，我们那边没有，我们那。我们那边没有，我们那边没有，我们那边没有，我们那边没有，我们那边没有，我们那边没有，我们那边没有，我们那边没有，我们那边没有，我们那边没有，我们那边没有，我们那边没有，我们那边。我们那边没有，我们那边没有，我们那边没有，我们那边没有，我们那边没有，我们那边没有，我们那边没有，我们那边没有，我们那边没有，我们那边没有，我们那边没有，我们那边没有，我们那边没有，我们那边没有，我们那边没有，我们那边没有，我们那边没有，我们那边没有，我们那边没有，我们那边没有，我们那边没有，我们那边没有，我们那边没有，我们那边没有，我们那边没有，我们那边没有，我们那边没有，我们那边没有，我们那边没有，我们那边没有，我们那边没有，我们那边没有，我们那边没有，我们那边没有，我们那边没有，我们那边没有，我们那边没有，我们那边没有，我们那边没有，我们那边没有，我们那边没有，我们那边没有，我们那边没有，我们那边没有，我们那边没有，我们那边没有，我们那边没有，我们那边没有，我们那边没有，我们那边没有，我们那边没有，我们那边没有，我们那边没有，我们那边没有，我们那边没有，我们那边没有，我们那边没有，我们那边没有，我们 Umani beme 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 gewande nyodo na jereze wan juje rowa jijan balemba de salam goba sho oba medan jereze wan sera gunde ge shenzen manor langsang leba tene chang nyodo sanje sala jado so chongje senjo Rinpoche maje yewo yombo mewo yombo newo newo jewo gunde yono lomo don gene yebe don ye son don ye de ron ne do chong go nyu do
도지치 쉐이 제림 주바디 오늘의 브리지그 소바다 간주 최대에게 초조 리기 쇼라라네 숭세 난교
To formally open our Losar proceedings and share messages of hope and resilience for a year ahead, I now have the honor of inviting President of the Tibetan Canadian Cultural Center and Canadian Tibetan Association of Ontario, Ms. Diki Shukla, to the podium to deliver her Losar greetings.
Tsangmalola tsamjinta shidele, mima mangbu shuchi pesha tuji chena gyabgyo nawala. Harje si shi tsugen, jikden shide debu, pemi lana mebe uti, chinor konsa kiamgun chimbo chola, pege lo nidon gyada ngabchunga sum, meta le, nam lo sartsela, gosum kuja ngundu pute, lo sabati na, Chino konsa kiamgun chimbo choki ube, tenda la chen namba, kutse shabbe kelgar tembe, mundun shuwa dan chapchik, zegor chepep nawe kiamne kendun kide, kundun namba, kasur dan chisur namba, shungshap surba namba, choki kaki, lene kutsap namba, lopchi choki ube, loptu da gegen namba, Shije peri yongdan, zamling kangsar nebe, pögi chopotan, pödön gyabgyorba namba. Tsangma ya, nye Ontario peri chidun chopotan, kancho chode lingi günle da, mingma tsangme tsapshun tsamjinta shtile shuayin. Anti kashech yinge to shuchochi. Dashidele and Losar greetings to everyone. On the auspicious occasion of this Losar Tibetan New Year, we respectfully offer homage to his, as we pray for the long life and enduring presence of His Holiness the Dalai Lama, and to all the great spiritual masters who uphold and protect the teachings of the Buddha Dharma. We offer our heartfelt aspirations that their sacred lives remain firm and lasting for hundreds of eons. On behalf of the Tibetan Canadian Association of Ontario and the Tibetan Canadian Cultural Centre, I offer my sincere greetings of affection, respect, and good wishes for Losar to all the venerable members of the monastic community who have kindly joined us, to our honored guest, Honorable Member of Parliament, Mr. Ivan Baker, Honorable Member of Parliament, Mr. Karim Bardisi, Member of Provincial Parliament, Ms. Lee Fairclough, sorry. And Member of Provincial Parliament, Ms. Alexa Gilmore, Inspector Jeff Bengild from Division 22, Putila Karpoche, former Deputy Speaker of the Ontario Provincial Parliament, Ms. Tenzime Tola from Division 22, or Toronto Police Service, Ms. Dogalhamla, current President of the Registered Nurses Association of Ontario. I'm going through the names. Dr. Tashirab Gela, founder of Machik. And to all the former CTA officials, representatives of various community organizations, TCC staff, including the school principal, teachers, and students, Tibetans both in Tibet and in exile, and to all the friends and supporters of Tibet cause around the world. Losar marks more than a new year. It renews our collective strength, identity, and responsibility. I begin with gratitude to our elders who carry our history with dignity, to our youth who carry our future with courage, to every volunteer, donors, and family who shows up again and again. Thank you. This community thrives because you choose to care. Your support is not small. It is the reason our culture breathes and flourishes in Canada. This past year has given us moments of immense pride on the global stage. We celebrate the historic recognition of His Holiness, the 14th Dalai Lama, with the Grammy Award, a reminder that his message of compassion, empathy, and peace transcends monasteries and mountains. It resonates across continents, across generations, and through modern platforms of global culture. The world is listening. We also recognize significant political developments. The United States has appointed a special coordinator for Tibetan issue and approved $23 million in Tibet-related assistance, reaffirming its commitment to supporting Tibetan communities both inside in Tibet and in exile. These are not symbolic gestures, they are principled actions. When one democratic country steps forward, it sets a precedent, and precedents matter. We are proud Canadians. We believe in justice, multiculturalism, and human dignity, values championed by the Government of Canada. If our allies can take meaningful steps, it's reasonable to ask our own government to do the same. Accordingly, we will prepare and submit a formal petition to Global Affairs Canada urging deeper and more sustained engagement on Tibet. We will call upon the Government of Canada to consider appointing a special coordinator for Tibetan issues, ensuring focused diplomatic attention and policy consistency. And to our members of parliament present here, I do not wish to put you on the spot, at least not for too long, but we will be seeking your support. Consider this less pressure and more proof that democracy is alive and well. We look forward to working together so that Canada's actions continue to reflect its principles. This initiative is not an act of confrontation. It's an exercise of our democratic rights and responsibilities as Canadian citizens. It reflects our commitment to construct civic participation and our belief that Canada's foreign policy should remain aligned with its enduring values: human rights, cultural preservation, and peaceful dialogue. Through this petition, we will call upon members of Parliament and members of Provincial Parliament and the Government of Canada to consider meaningful and principled support for the Central Tibetan Administration, consistent with Canada's long-standing commitment to democracy, democratic freedoms around the world. Losar reminds us that renewal begins with intention. If we want change, we must organize. If we want recognition, we must advocate. If we want our children to inherit both opportunity and identity, we must act strategically. Let this year be the year we move forward from celebration to mobilization. Let us celebrate our culture boldly, educate intelligently, and advocate respectfully but firmly. And let us remember the timeless message of His Holiness: compassion is not weakness, it is disciplined courage. As we step into this new year, may we carry clarity of purpose, courage in action, and faith in one another. This past year has also brought meaningful progress within our community. We are pleased to share that Tibetan Canadian Cultural Centre has received a $25,000 grant through the Ontario Trillium Foundation to support programs for our seniors, ensuring that those who carried our culture through the most difficult years continue to receive care, engagement, and dignity. In addition, we are grateful to the Toronto Tibetan Rotary Club for their generous donation of $5,000 towards building library resources for our language classes. Investing in books is investing in identity. When our children learn to read and write in Tibetan, they inherit more than vocabulary. They inherit history, values, and belonging. These achievements demonstrate what is possible when community vision meets collaborative support. And I want to thank our Member of Parliament and Member of Provincial Parliament for providing us the supporting letter to apply for these grants. This Losar is also marked by reflection and remembrance. We pay our deepest respect to Kunga Rinpoche, the younger brother of His Holiness, the 14th Dalai Lama, who passed away in Dharamsala at the age of 80. Born in Lhasa in 1946 and recognized at a young age as the 16th reincarnation of Ngari Rinpoche, he carried both spiritual lineage and public responsibility with remarkable humility. From accompanying His Holiness during historic visits in the 1950s to escaping Tibet in 1959 and continuing his education in India and abroad, his life mirrored the journey of our people: exile, adaptation, and unwavering commitment. He served in many capacities at the Tibetan Children's Village, in the office of His Holiness the Dalai Lama, within the Department of Security, the Tibetan Youth Congress, and as a member of the Tibetan Parliament in exile. Whether as a monk, public servant, or lay leader, He worked to make Tibetan spirituality and institutions more accessible, practical, and community-focused. Ngari Rinpoche represented Tibet internationally with clarity and courage, yet remained deeply humble and approachable. His life was a bridge between tradition and modernity, spirituality and public service, and devotion and action. As we honor him today, we offer prayers for his swift and auspicious rebirth. May we carry forward his example, not only in words, but in service, unity, and steadfast dedication to our people. Thank you, everyone, and Tashitele once again.
조절라 도치체 슈아이 대지라 제름 중요에 캐나다 유초족의 뒤에 꾸셔 그린버디시 촌에 갈로거든 제교.
Thank you, Digila, for those inspiring words and for your leadership in guiding our community through this significant year. To begin with our guest remarks, we invite representative from the riding of Tayakon Parkdale High Park, the cultural heartland of many Tibetan Canadians, and a neighborhood so our community call home. As a dedicated member of the Parliamentary Friends of Tibet, Mr. Berdesi has shown a deep commitment to our voices in Ottawa. Please join me in welcoming the Honorable Karim Berdesi.
Loso Tashidele. It's an honor to join you in celebrating Losar, the beginning of the 2153rd Tibetan Lunar Year, the Year of the Fire Horse. This is a time, as you know, of reflection, gratitude, and community, and today we gather in that spirit. I want to join my colleagues here in pausing to pay our respects to Kunga Ngari Rinpoche, the younger brother of His Holiness the Dalai Lama, who devoted his life to the service of His Holiness and the Tibetan people. You saw some of the achievements, you know those achievements, you know that work from his early years in exile to his work with the Tibetan Children's Village and in public life. He remained committed to education, community, and the Tibetan cause, and we honor his memory today. My friend, the colleague of Yvonne Baker and I, and the Parliamentary Friends of Tibet Chair, MP James Maloney, MP for this community, for Etobicoke Lakeshore, cannot join us today. He sends his warmest greetings, and he regrets that he could not be here. He misses this celebration in particular so much. But he and my colleague Yvonne and I all want to say clearly and without hesitation, I stand with Tibet, we stand with Tibet. In Parliament, we did this collectively. We reaffirmed this in 2024 through a motion recognizing Tibetans as a people and a nation with the right to determine their future free of interference, including the recognition of Tibetans' next spiritual leader, not by another people, but by the Tibetan people. We stand with Tibet when we celebrate Tibetan democracy, which was envisioned by His Holiness, and I just mentioned the House of Commons. You may know that His Holiness is one of just 6 honorary citizens of Canada. Tibetan democracy remains active and vibrant, with elections taking place this year in 29 countries, including Canada. You've seen the posters up in your neighborhoods. That resilience, grounded in nonviolence and compassion, reflects the very spirit of Losar. We stand with Tibet when we welcome the Sikyong Penpa Siring to Toronto and Ottawa and treat him with the dignity that he deserves on behalf of the Central Tibetan Administration. We stand with Tibet when we work with the Canada-Tibet Community, with the Tibet Fund, to welcome Richard Gere to Ottawa to share the message of Tibetan self-determination with our colleagues. We did this for Tibet Day on the Hill recently, where we welcomed Mr. Gere, had many community members come, and also did a screening of the Wisdom of Compassion film. We stand with Tibet when we take the case and voice for Tibetan autonomy, self-determination, and human rights directly to the floor of the House of Commons, as we have done on so many occasions. Or to our colleagues in government, including the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Anita Anand. You should know that in her recent meeting with her Chinese counterpart, she has raised Tibetan issues. You should know that in response to Dekila's very timely intervention, that we will be taking that message back to her. As Dekila said, this is a time for mobilization. We remain deeply concerned and continue to advocate about the ongoing human rights situation in Tibet, including and especially the system of colonial-style boarding schools that have placed nearly 1 million Tibetan children as young as 4 in state-run institutions, separating them from their language, their families, and their culture. We know as Canadians who have a history of implementing residential schools and seeing the devastation that it causes to cultures, to families, to language, that we cannot be silent when we see residential schools elsewhere, because we know residential schooling is about denying culture and language. And Tibetan language and culture must thrive. We're concerned about the forced relocation of Tibetan communities from their homes due to large-scale hydropower dam projects in regions such as Kham and along the upper reaches of the Drichu River, because we know, as His Holiness has taught us, that Tibetans have a unique relationship with the environment, with water, and its role in sustaining billions of people far beyond the region of Tibet. These are serious issues, and please know your elected members of Parliament in the Liberal Government Caucus are raising them and will continue to raise them. But today is also about renewal. We stand with Tibet and Tibetan Canadians not just because of the life in Tibet, but because we build a stronger Canada, because Tibetan Canadians are so important in building it. I want to pay a special tribute to the Tibetan Canadian women who I've had the pleasure of getting to know or meet in the last year or longer, who are doing this building. People like Dekila Shukla, the first woman president of the TCCC. People like Tashila Rabge, the first Tibetan woman Rhodes Scholar, and with her sister, the Machik founder. People like Domla Latsiring and the women of the Tibetan Women's Association. Women like Butila Karpoche, first woman Tibetan Canadian member of Provincial Parliament, who is with us today. Leaders like Chemi Lamo, a student activist and international activist. Women like Mingyur Palden, who received one of the top recognitions at Massey College at the University of Toronto. Women like Kunsung Kiryong, award-winning director of 100 Sunset, which was filmed in Parkdale. Please go see 100 Sunset where it's playing near you and see your community being represented. And so many Tibetan Canadian caregivers and family leaders and women who are doing so much work behind the scenes today. Caregivers like the caregivers at Copernicus Lodge on Roncesvalles Avenue, a mostly Polish-Canadian seniors home where 50%, fully half of the caregiving staff, are Tibetan Canadians. And that is part of the broader story, because Tibetan Canadians make Canada strong, make Canada complete. When we receive care, when we buy groceries, when we visit the dentist, when we want to buy a house, when we need a sense of community, it is Tibetan Canadians who are making that better community. It is Tibetan Canadians who are making Canada a better country. And we need to find even more ways for Tibetan Canadians, and I know among us a growing generation of young Tibetan Canadians who are attending college and university, to serve and connect. Through the Parliamentary Friends of Tibet, we continue to work with Tibetan leaders and advocates both here and globally. The Parliamentary Friends of Tibet internship program is returning this year. It's an opportunity for Tibetan Canadian youth to spend up to 6 weeks on Parliament or in our political offices and our community offices to serve, to gain key political experience, to gain key government experience, and to take that leadership back home. It's also an opportunity. The Parliamentary Friends of Tibet will be, I think, in receipt of Dekila's encouragement, and we will be looking at very closely what the Americans have done, and again, doing advocacy based on that. Tibetan Canadian reach into Canada goes even farther, though, and it goes in ways that we are still starting to appreciate in Ottawa and our communities. We are coming at the end of National Kindness Week. Yes, Parliament of Canada deemed officially that this week, February 15th to 22nd, would be National Kindness Week. And this comes from a place, a tradition it is deeply connected to compassion. We're just coming away from the year of compassion. It is deeply connected to that warm heart that His Holiness spoke about. So as we enter this year of the Fire Horse, may your homes be filled with harmony and good health. May the blessings of His Holiness and the Three Jewels guide you. And may Tibetan language, culture, and Dharma flourish for generations to come. Sirirang Chuchiche.
Thank you so much, sir. This year, Canada uchozo gitumi usho even bagger chone kalo garin zeyo.
Thank you, Mr. Berdesi. We truly appreciate your dedication to the Parliamentary Friends of Tibet and your support for the heart of all Canadian Tibetan in Parkdale. We now welcome a representative who has been an unwavering advocate for human rights and a consistent voice for Tibet in the House of Commons. As a dedicated friend to our community in the west end of the city, please join me in welcoming the Member of Parliament for Etobicoke Centre, Honorable Yvan Baker.
Losar Tashi Delek. Hello, everybody. President Shukla, members of the Tibetan Canadian Cultural Centre and the Canadian Tibetan Association of Ontario, thank you for allowing me the honor of being with you today, to celebrate today, and to be here amongst all of you. So my name is Yvan Baker. I'm the Member of Parliament for Etobicoke Centre. And today we have with us a number of distinguished guests, and when you have representatives from different levels of government, from different ridings, it can be a lot to sort out. So for those of you, just so you understand, I represent the community of Etobicoke Centre, and I know there are many people from Etobicoke here today. Is that right? How many are from Etobicoke? Many. And so I represent that part of Etobicoke that is north of Dundas Street. So if you live north of Dundas and south of Dixon, I have the honor of representing you in Canada's House of Commons. So I'm pleased to be here with all of you. And it's great to be here with so many leaders of the community and with so many friends. And I say friends because I've had the privilege of being here on many occasions. I was just sharing with President Shukla that I think my first time that I was here, visited here, was 2008 approximately, but have been here many times over the years for many special occasions like this one. And I want to thank you and your leadership for welcoming me. I want to start by sharing my deepest condolences on the passing of Ngari Rinpoche, the younger brother of His Holiness, the Dalai Lama, and a former member of Parliament of the Tibetan government in exile. You have my deepest condolences. And on behalf of the residents of Etobicoke Centre, I want to extend my warmest wishes to everyone celebrating the Tibetan New Year, the Year of the Fire Horse. Now, Losar is a time of renewal, a time to reflect on the year that has passed and look ahead with hope and determination. And this is the year of the fire horse, and so before coming today, I asked people for some explanation about what the meaning of the fire horse is, and I was told that the horse symbolizes energy, freedom, and determination. And that was joined with the element of fire, it represents passion, courage, and powerful transformation. So a fire horse year is said to be a time of bold action and strong spirit. And when I think about those qualities, I realize that the year of the fire horse comes up, I think it was 60 years ago was the last year of the fire horse, if I'm not mistaken. It doesn't come up very often. Most of you are not born in a year of the fire horse. But these qualities that I just talked about, I see in many of you. That energy, that determination, your perseverance in protecting your language, your faith, your culture, your commitment to compassion and nonviolence, and your steadfast belief and work to ensure the freedom of the Tibetan people. That's something that I respect very much, and I want to thank you for your leadership in that. You know, Kareem, there's very little I could add to what Kareem had to say about the work that we've done together, at least at the federal level, in support of the Tibetan people. So I won't repeat what he has said. But as a member of the Parliamentary Friends of Tibet, as someone who's participated in and helped lead some of the advocacy that Kareem was talking about, both in this Parliament and the prior Parliament, whether it's the motion that Kareem alluded to, whether it's the meeting with your leadership and working with your leadership, whether it's helping to secure funding for this community center. I want you to know that I am proud to work with this community and honored to work with you and on your behalf. And so I'm grateful that you gave me this opportunity to be here today to celebrate with you. I also want to say that in Etobicoke and across Canada, the Tibetan community's contributions are very meaningful. And I think at times like this, it's important to celebrate that as well. Whether it's your entrepreneurship or your leadership or what you do to bring up the next generation of Tibetans, Tibetan Canadians, I think is very admirable. So our community in Etobicoke in Canada is stronger because all of you. So may the year of the fire horse bring good health, prosperity, and strength to all of you and your families. May it bring renewed energy to your community and continued success in the important work that you do. And thank you for welcoming me into your home for this celebration. Tashi Dalak and Happy Losar. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. The Toronto Police Inspector Kusha Jeb Bengal Chone Kalokadin Zeju.
Thank you, Mr. Baker, for your advocacy and consistent voice in the House of Commons and for unwavering support for the Tibetan human rights and the Tibetan Canadian Cultural Center. Safety and well-being of our community are built on strong partnership. We are grateful for the continued support and engagement of the Toronto Fleet Service. To share his greeting, please welcome a true partner to the Tibetan Canadian Cultural Center from our Local 22 Division, Inspector Jeff Bengild.
Losar Tashidle. It is an honor and a privilege to be here with you tonight or today as we celebrate the Tibetan New Year, a time of renewal, reflection, and gratitude and hope. Losar reminds us to take a look back at the past year with humility, to let go of what weighs us down, and to step forward together with fresh energy and optimism for the year ahead. On behalf of the Toronto Police Service, I want to thank the Tibetan community for welcoming us to this celebration. Your culture carries deep traditions of resilience, compassion, and unity. Those values don't just belong to one community, they belong to the entire city. Policing at its core is about people. It's about relationships, it's about trust, and most importantly, it's about community. When people think of the police, they think of uniforms, police cars, and emergency calls. But what truly defines the work is something much more human. Every police officer who carries the badge simply has a simple responsibility to serve and protect the very communities that they come from. Our officers are not separate from the community. They are a part of it. They are their parents dropping their kids off at school. They are the neighbors helping shovel driveways. They're volunteers, coaches, mentors, and community members. And increasingly, they reflect the rich diversity of the people that we serve, including right here in the Tibetan community. Representation matters. And to emphasize that point, I draw attention to Tenzing Ziring, a member of the Toronto Police Service and a proud sergeant. She is just being promoted to the rank of Staff Sergeant. When a young person sees someone who speaks their language and understands their culture and shares their lived experiences wearing the uniform, something important happens. Trust grows. Barriers come down and conversations become easier. Safety becomes something that we build together, not something that a community does, but with it. As we enter the years ahead, our commitment remains clear. We continue working to build a police service that reflects and respects the communities that we serve. We continue to listen, learn, and strengthen our partnerships with community leaders, youth, families, and cultural organizations. The Tibetan community knows the power of community strength. Your tradition emphasizes compassion for others, respect for elders, care for family, and responsibility to the collective. These are the same principles that guide the best of policing. Safety is not created by enforcement alone. It is through connection, through understanding, through presence, and through listening. When communities feel seen and heard, they are stronger. And when communities are strong, the city is safer for everyone. Events like today matter more than you may realize. Celebrations like Losar are not about culture, they're about belonging. They remind us that diversity is not a challenge to overcome, but a strength to embrace. As a police leader and leaders amongst us, we have the responsibility of ensuring every community feels that they belong, that their traditions are respected, and that their voices matter, and that their safety and concerns are taken seriously. We also know that trust is not built by a single meeting, but but rather it is built by day-to-day, conversation by conversation, and action by action. It requires us to show up, not only in a time of crisis, but in times of celebration like this. Because we celebrate together, we understand each other better, and when we understand each other better, we can serve you better. Losar is a time to look ahead. As we enter this new year, our commitment remains clear. We will continue to recruit, support, and develop officers who reflect the communities that they serve. We will continue growing partnerships with our community leaders, youth groups, cultural organizations, and families. And when we continue to listen, especially when the conversations are difficult, because that is how trust grows. To the Tibetan community, your presence enriches our city. Your resilience inspires us. Your traditions remind us about the importance of compassion, patience, and hope. Qualities that policing needs now more than ever. To the young people here today, you are the future of this community and the city. Your voice matters. Your leadership matters. And if you ever consider a career in policing, including public service, know that we need you. We need your language, your skills, your culture, and your commitment to your community. Policing is strongest when it reflects the people that it serves. And finally, I want to acknowledge something important. Safety is a shared responsibility. Police play a role, but safety comes from neighbors looking out for one another, from families supporting one another, and our communities staying connected. The Tibetan community has demonstrated the spirit of collective care, and we are grateful to stand alongside you in that work. As you welcome the new year, may it bring health to your families, strength to your community, and peace to your homes. May the year ahead be one of opportunity, understanding, and continued partnership between your community and those who are proud to serve within it. Thank you for your trust, thank you for your partnership, and thank you for allowing us to celebrate Losar with you. Tashi Dele.
Thank you, sir. Digital Zerim, Chungwadi, Ngadi Chozoki to me, Lefe Cloud Chone, Kalogatin Zaigu.
Thank you, Inspector Bengal. We value the strong partnership and safety your team provides to our neighborhood and the Tibetan Canadian Cultural Center. We are now honored to hear from our provincial representative for this very riding. As our MPP, she has been dedicated supporter of TCC's growth and serve as a vital link between our community and the province of Ontario. She understands the unique needs of our neighborhood and has been a steadfast friend to the Tibetan people. Please join me in welcoming the Member of Provincial Parliament for Etobicoke Lakeshore, Honorable Lee Fairclough.
Losar Tashi Dele. It's a great honor to join you today to celebrate this 2153rd Tibetan Lunar Year, the Year of the Fire Horse. But I also want to recognize that it's also a day where we are honoring Ngari Rinpoche and the sadness that is being felt by his loss to the Tibetan community. This year of the Fire Horse is especially powerful and meaningful in the Tibetan calendar. As this is my first Losar celebration, I've been fortunate to learn a great deal about it. And I want to just pause and say thank you to President Deki Shukla and the board and the community for embracing me today as part of this celebration. Losar is a time of renewal, reflection, and hope. It is a moment to gather with family and friends and to give thanks for the past year and to look ahead at the year ahead. The year of the Fire Horse symbolizes energy, strength, passion, and bold action. We heard about that earlier today. Qualities that are so beautifully reflected in the spirit of the Tibetan community here at the TCCC. I also recognize that Losar is not only a celebration, but also a spiritual renewal. It is a time to clear away negativity, to strengthen community bonds, to honor our ancestors, and to set intentions for the year ahead. In a Fire Horse year, those intentions may carry extra power. Fire Horse years are associated with courage, decisive action, and profound shifts I felt very motivated when we heard about that earlier today as well. And that is both for the personal and for the collective. They can be years of challenge, but also of remarkable opportunity. The energy is fast flowing and fast moving, and it calls on us to act with wisdom and compassion. As I carry out my work in this community as your elected representative at Queen's Park this year, this focus of wisdom, compassion, and good-heartedness will guide me, and I look forward to working with leaders in your community as I do that. And I too want to mention that we've got a wonderful opportunity for young leaders to work with us at Queen's Park and in my office here as we open up the call for participation in the Ontario Parliamentary Friends of Tibet program. I think this is an important opportunity for young people to come and participate as leaders in our democracy. So may this Fire Horse year bring success to your endeavors, health to your families, and strength to your communities. And may our collective efforts move swiftly, like the horse, and shine brightly, like fire, for the benefit of all beings. And may it be a year of unity, prosperity, and peace. And as His Holiness shared with us today, peace in the world and peace in your mind. Losar Tashi Dalai, thank you.
Thank you. Ta di chi la thanda nga di thozo ge tumi Alexa Gilmo chone kalo godin chegyo.
Thank you, Ms. Fairclough, for representing our provincial interests at the Queen's Park and for your unwavering support for the Tibetan Canadian Cultural Center. We now welcome a representative from a riding that holds a very special place in our hearts, Parkdale High Park, home to so many families and businesses. Our next guest has been a compassionate advocate for her constituents and a strong supporter of Tibetan community's vibrant presence in Toronto. Please join me in welcoming the Member of Provincial Parliament for Parkdale High Park, Honorable Alexa Gilmore.
Losar Tashi Dalai, everyone. To the kind-hearted, incredible members of the Sangha, our President Shukla, our distinguished guests, to each and every one of you, it remains one of the great honors of my role to be welcomed into this space and into the festivities and the warmth that the Tibetan community brings with them wherever they go. In this year of compassion, I also want to express my deep condolences to all of you on the loss of His Eminence, Ngari Rinpoche. It is so clear that his legacy of commitment to the Tibetan people, to the Tibetan cause, has transformed this world and each and every one of us in this room. So it is both with great sorrow and great gratitude for his life that I offer these condolences, and I add my prayers to you for his swift rebirth in the land of his home, Tibet. It has been quite the year. I am almost at my 1-year anniversary of being the MPP for Parkdale High Park. And in this time of Losar, I got a chance to prepare a Losar greeting card, and that gave me the opportunity to look at the many moments that we have had together, meetings about this community center, about the work that is being done here, about the cause of Tibet and the Tibetan people, and how we in Canada must stand united, and we do. And coming to this moment, I realized that this work has been going on for some time, and so I want to honor my predecessor, Butila Karpoche, who is here today, former MPP in the riding that I now serve. On that first week that I started in the office, the team, Somo and others, said, right, Alexa, the first thing we've got to do is get the Ontario Parliamentary Friends of Tibet happening. We are a month behind because of the election. And my team worked so tirelessly to make that happen. And it was possible in large part because Butila had done the work for many years before, and before that, our predecessor, Sherry DeNovo, had started Tibet Day at the Ontario Parliament at Queen's Park. Friends, this is such an important day and an important opportunity because it is when the rest of our elected officials have access to seeing the important work that is being done by the Tibetan community here in Canada, in Ontario, and around the world. And so I'm very pleased to say we will be doing another Tibet Day. And I want to thank the President and the board who are going to be joining with us in that work. I want to thank the MPP Lee Fairclough, who has been the first one to jump on board and say she will also be taking a Tibet student. And my office will be as well, and we'll be organizing that, and we'll be letting you know about that. The other thing that I wanted to mention today is about the important work we've done over this last year with the Tibetan medicine healers. So many of you know the great gift of Tibetan medicine, 3,000 plus years old now, the wisdom, the important healing, the practices that are not always allowed to flourish here because we don't yet have a college of practitioners. And so my office has been working very hard to work with the government to get that happening. And we are now at a place where we are supporting the Tibetan healers in getting their application into the government. And you will see that they have prepared a petition. And I hope that you will sign that because I will be personally taking that into Queen's Park and to table that in the legislature and bring forward this important initiative. And I want to thank our Tibetan healers today that are here, Doma, for that work. Boy, do we ever need this new year of the fire horse, don't we? Year of courage and transition. This world needs more than ever this deep spiritual practice that grounds us as we look to the great challenges. And so I want to thank the Tibetan people for their contribution. Whether they're in the field of nursing, in the field of policing, in the field of parliament, government, you bring a deep spiritual grounding that this world needs more than ever. So Tuji Che for that. And a Losar Tashi Delay to each and every one of you. Thank you.
Thank you. DJ라 단다 Toronto Tibetan Rotary Club 내 단다 강주 주대는 베지게 다리슌 롭자 벤줄라 신대 고망하동 투스 아나소 안디야 집균하러 나셔요.
Thank you, Ms. Gilmore, for your kind words and for your dedicated service to the many Tibetan families, Canadian Tibetan families in your riding in Park Hill High Park, and your continued support to the Tibetan Canadian Cultural Center. With this, we conclude our guest remarks. We now move on to a celebration. Tibetan language education is the foundation of our culture, and the library is the heart of any school. We are profoundly grateful to the Rotary Club of Toronto Tibetans for incredibly generous donation of $5,000 to the Tibetan Canadian Cultural Center Language and Cultural School. This contribution will go directly towards enhancing our library, providing students with resources they need to master their mother tongue and explore our rich heritage. We invite President Tenzin Kochala and Mingma La and the Tibetan Canadian Cultural Center President Digila and Principal of the Tibetan TCC Language and Cultural School on the stage for the presentation. Thank you. Thank you, Rotary Club of Toronto Tibetans, President and the board members and the members for their generous donation.
Rotary Club of Tochichi Shuada Chapchi and Tanda Dinema Sera Shua Chadi Tanda Sera Tambo Andrea Nam Pui Suarigbe Tim Dung Yon Le Language Mima Kangmani Senda Yabyon Yabyo Nangyo Yon Shus Sera Nango Zo Dirishatan Andrea Pui Suar with the Tim Du Chayala Maranzu Mwene and Senda Nebadu Kyung Sere di Namazu Yabyo Nangu Sere Dindo Samba Tanda Konazu Senda Shivi and Dilla Senda Naronas Dichikche and Dine Chindu Sumbetari Chunimudilla Tanda Shundi Member Tobaka Dungune Tanda language Kurishi Diori Dindo Samba language della Shende Nani Yovana Tanda Mige Shende Durup Shuore Dichikre Dine Oral Pini Yovana Tandane Togunangu Isere Togunasi de Mige Chadido Dindo Samba language did and Deva Tola Tanda Sani Shunu Sozo Sani Sonumla George Naronas Dishuaye. Dindo Samba Tatrin, Zewadi, Taman Chadi, Dindo Samba, Tomange, and Trin, the Jumbisham, Kundu number Samolo, the Chipio number de Lange, and Kanju Chindelin, the Bridge in Sobe, Gune Yongi, and substituting Tabane, Tojiche, Jigda, and Trin, the Zewadi Tola, and Soyika, Tangla, Mangush, those Chalena, or Dindo Samba, Soyikagi, and Gune number Samolo, Tojiche, Shuayi, and Taganashi, Tanda de Ningu Suzi, and David or Sudamna, Chalenani. And the Samuel Tojichi Shui, Dine Surgery, Traumatisi, and Division, Charonani, the Samuel Tojichi Shui, and Dine Tangu, Chik Shabjari, Josie, Gunani, the Get Samuel, Tangazu, Kanju Chundin, the Berry Chidin Soba, Yongi Subshun, in Tabane Tojichi Shui, Chikda, and the Los Sabadina, number 2, Chawalamdo, Nemitsi, some do Hunshi to be Dashimundu Shuada, Chabji, and Tadu, Tangazu, Laname, Udi Chino, Kevin Chimuchok, Ube. Dena Lajinum Kuzishebeke Temada, Pogitendo, Yoni Nut Seve, Dashimundu Tojiche.
As we draw our formal program to close, we wish to extend our deepest gratitude to everyone who made this auspicious celebration possible. Firstly, the Venerable Sangha members for their gracious presence, and a heartfelt thank you to all our honorable speakers and invited guests, to our members of Parliament, to our members of Provincial Parliament and Inspector Bangil and the Toronto Police Service representatives. Your presence today is a powerful mark of solidarity. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for your continued advocacy and for standing with the Canadian Tibetan community. We extend our gratitude to the leaders and representatives of our local Tibetan nonprofit organization. Your collaboration and shared visions are what keep our community vibrant and resilient. And thank you to the former CTA, CTA service members, Kasur, Chisur, and the public servants.